good morning my lovely friends, and happy Thursday. It's the 9th of Feb today, and I hope you're all doing well. You join me as always in my lovely sewing room, and today I'm dedicating myself to my sewing machine. I haven't had a good sewing machine sewing session in a very long time, and I just sort of feel so disconnected, and yeah, I just want to reunite myself with my beautiful baby. So I think that's what my Thursday is going to be. It's just going to be a good sewing day. I want to fill up my design wall full of beautiful little blocks and just get started on a new project. And I very happily have finally made a decision about what I'm going to do with the fabrics I got in my advent calendar during Vlogmas last year. I've sort of had the idea floating around in my head for a couple of weeks. I wasn't quite sure, so I did a test block just to sort of figure things out and make sure it's going to work, and I think it's going to work. I think it's going to look really lovely. So let's catch you up to speed. If you didn't see my Vlogmas from last year, 2022, I opened this beautiful advent calendar from the Stitch Celine. Claire did a 24 or was it 25? She did a 24-day advent calendar full of fabric and some haberdashery items. And throughout Vlogmas, I opened each day a brand new fabric to unveil this beautiful bundle of fabric that I've just been swooning over, and just, yeah, been really quite precious about finding the right thing to do with it. But yeah, these are all the fabrics that we're working with. And so after lots of research and sort of figuring out how patterns would work with each of the prints, I did what all quilters do and went to their own library of books that are just full of patterns that just never get done or used and forgotten about. And I reached for one of my favorite handy quilt block books. This is 500 Quilt Blocks by Lynne, Goldsworthy and Kerry. I love this book. This book has inspired pretty much all of my quilt alongs, all of my block tutorials. Like, this is like my quilt bible. It's amazing, and it's just full of so many block ideas and variants. And yeah, if you don't have this in your quilting book library, then I would definitely recommend it. I'll link it below, but it's a great book. So I got this out and I flicked through it just to try and find a little bit of inspiration, and I found some inspiration. And the block that I have decided to do is a variation on a bear paw. If you're on Instagram, you'll see that all of the cool quilting ladies are doing lots of bear paw quilts, and they just look absolutely amazing. The bear paw block is, I think, pretty traditional, and so it's really great to see a traditional old school block like that come back into modern quilting and just have a really great sort of Renaissance spin to it, and it just looks bold and fantastic. So I was inspired by that as well. But this variation of the bear paw I've always wanted to make, and I think it's perfect for all of these fabrics. So this is the one that I've decided to do, just this tiny little one in the corner. It's a variation, as I said. It's not a traditional bear paw, but it's a variation of it. So I decided to do a mock-up version of the block just out of some scrappy fabrics, and that's what it looks like. And I really like it. I think that has a really great sort of punch in like your face. And so what I was thinking of doing is just the really bold prints as the sort of bear paw, I guess, and then using the lower volume prints as the background, and maybe switching it up in a few places just to sort of have like that odd patch of colour in the quilt top. But yeah, I think this is what I'm settling on, and yeah, I think it's really going to look really great and really highlight each of the prints. That was sort of like one of my main goals, is to find a pattern that would really highlight each of these amazing prints that Claire has sent in this advent box. I did consider just changing it slightly, instead of doing like a full patch in the middle, doing more like a rectangle and then a square type thing like that, but I don't think I really like it. Oh, actually, now that it's on the camera, it's not that bad. Doing it this way with the rectangle in the middle is quicker, but doing it this way, I think it really highlights the actual paw type design. So like you have like the pads of the bear paw and then the claws, whereas this one I don't think you quite really get that kind of effect. And I really like the texture that that gives with all of the seams in it. So I like this idea with the rectangle and then the two squares and then the triangles around, but I think I like the outcome of this way of the block better. So that's what we're gonna do, I think. Happy days. I don't have a pattern or any sort of like plan for the quilt top. I'm just gonna sort of start matching fabrics that go well together and just sewing them up into little units like this, and then I think what I'll do is I'll sort of mix and match them on the design wall until it looks aesthetically pleasing, and then sew them into the actual big block like this. And don't worry, I am planning on doing a proper old school block tutorial showing you how to make the unit, and then obviously how to piece it all together. So that is in the works. When it's going to happen I'm not sure, because I have to fit it in around my study and, you know, everything else that life sort of throws at you, but it is in the works. I will be doing a proper tutorial on how to make it. So with that, I'm going to stop sort of just like babbling and rambling at you, and let's get sewing. Let's get reunited with my baby and just have a really lovely day of sewing. Happy days. Well, good afternoon my friends, and happy Friday. It is, yes, the next day, and I managed to finish a few of the units for my new quilt, and I think we're onto a winner. I think I'm not sure, but I think. But yes, these are the first 3 little units I did yesterday, and I like it. I think the overall look is going to be a little bit more like scrappy, I don't know, maybe a little bit more intense than what I thought, but this layout isn't final. These are all just being put on the wall just individually. So once I've made more, I'll be able to sort of mix and match and sort of get them looking a little bit sort of, I don't know, better, I guess. But I am liking this. I like to think I do scrappy quilts quite well, and this is kind of giving off that vibe. So yeah, I think we're onto a winner. So I think as I make more, the clearer I think the quilt and the way it's going to look will become more apparent. So far so good. I think I'm going to continue on with this and see how far we go. But yeah, I like it. Happy days. I was thinking of sewing a little bit more today, but it is quite late in the afternoon and it's at that point of the day where it's like the hottest, and we're up in like the mid-30s today and tomorrow as well, and I don't particularly like to sew when it's hot because it gets all a bit too much with the light and the iron, and yeah, so I think I'm just going to spend the rest of the afternoon reading, just finding a nice cool quiet spot in the house and just read. I think that's a great idea. Good afternoon my friends, happy Tuesday. It's the, oh my gosh, it's the 14th of February. It's Valentine's Day. Not that I celebrate it, but happy Valentine's Day all the same, I suppose. I have been spending a really nice, lovely afternoon. Sorry, I'm just trying to square up a block. A really nice afternoon just doing a little bit of sewing. I've had a pretty intense, full-on information type day with my study today. So this afternoon I just wanted to just have a chill out and do a little bit of sewing. I wanted to do a couple more little units for my bear paw block that I've got here on the wall that I started the other day, and I've just finished doing this one. Oh, that looks so good on the camera. I love it. So I'm going to pop this one on the wall, ready to do the next one. There we go. Looking good. So I think the best way to make this quilt, or the best way that I think I'm going to sort of tackle it, is make 4 little units at a time. I don't know whether I've explained this yet, but I don't know. If I haven't, I'm going to do 4 units at a time, pop them on the wall, and then at the end I'll just sort of jumble them up until it looks good with my eye, and then we can piece it all together and, you know, do all the things that we need to do to make a beautiful quilt. The next little unit I'm going to do is this colorway. I've done a dark green gingham and matched it with like the lighter sort of cotton poplin. Just gotta square these up now and then I can start piecing that next unit together. But as I was saying, I've just had a really nice lovely afternoon, just spending some time in my sewing room. Just to catch you up, I've actually started studying a new course, something completely different that I thought I'd never sort of study, and it actually involves going into the college, doing classes and then coming home. So I do that 3 days a week for pretty much the full day. So I started a sort of like a librarian information course with the goal to work in some capacity in a library. I'm also thinking after that of going into like education support or like education learning support in schools, but that's like the far off goal. But at the moment I've just started studying a library course, and it's just very information heavy, and I'm just finding that when I come home my brain is just like fried. So coming home and just doing a really lovely chilled out sewing session just really helps. It's something that I can just easily do with my mind not really focused on it. I can just go through the motions without really thinking about it, and then by the end of it I have a really lovely little unit all sewn up. So because I've started this new course, it also explains why I haven't been vlogging recently, and I'm going to be trying my best to do some vlogs and some videos on my days off, and yeah, just keep continuing on with making some lovely content for you and saying hi and showing you what's going on in my sewing room, and yeah, just sharing things, I guess. This one is going to look really, really lovely. I'll show you in a second. Oh wow, it's just like so autumnal like. I love it. This is the next little unit I am doing with the gingham. I'm going to clear off all of this mess. I can't stand working in mess, but I'll piece all of this together and show you what it looks like at the end. Here we go. Here is the finished unit. It's so sweet. I actually quite like how the gingham sort of pattern doesn't match. It's just really like scrappy. It's lots of fun. Alright, pop it on the walls before I lose it. Looking good. Since starting this project, I have realised I am in desperate need to change my rotary blades because they keep like catching and not cutting properly, and it's really, really annoying. And it's the same for my bigger rotary blade as well, so I'm gonna have to make a mental note to get some new rotary blades. I'll have to wait until I go on sale because rotary blades are expensive. I don't think I have any spare. I might have to have a hunt. I can't remember these things. I have 2 more little units to make. I would like to try and finish them today, and one of them features the beautiful Rifle Paper Co bunny print, and then the other one has the beautiful floral print. So I'll piece them together and then I'll show you what they look like. I think they're gonna look really nice. Exciting! Okay, here are my last 2 little units. They look so good. This bunny one is very cool. I tried to sort of like fussy cut it a little bit. This one here I think will look better once it's sort of like that way because it's such a directional print, but I'm just gonna have it there for the moment. And I don't know whether you can see, but on a couple of them I'm actually keeping the selvage designs because I love when it has like a fancy selvage. I really like to sort of celebrate that and keep it in. But yeah, that's what we're up to, and they look so cool. It's so like bright and cheery, but like also a little bit autumnal and just really cool. Happy days. While enjoying a lovely afternoon of sewing, I also lit my beautiful gingerbread cookie candle that I bought during Vlogmas. Thought I'd light it because it's a rainy day today, and I thought it would just sort of fit with the mood of just a really nice, relaxed type of chilled out afternoon of sewing, and it smells delicious. Oh my gosh, I just blew it out. But it smells delicious. It smells like beautiful gingerbread. Let's relight that. Yeah, it's just made my sewing room just smell like gingerbread. It smells like Christmas. Yeah, very nice. Well, good afternoon, my friends, and happy Thursday. Are you straight? I feel like you're not. I think that looks a little bit better. I don't know, but hi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I've just been editing the vlog that you have been watching, and I realized I didn't really say goodbye. Yeah, I felt like I couldn't really just like end it without like saying goodbye and kind of wrapping it up and stuff. But yeah, I've been having lots of fun making a few more of my little units here. You can see, how many have I done here? That's 4, 8, 12, 13, and I have another 3 more on the go. So we're well on our way, and I think it's going to look really, really great. And it's going to, I think, be a really great lead up into autumn for us. Kind of officially, but not really. Autumn kind of starts for us technically next week in March, but it will still be quite warm until, I don't know, maybe like mid-April. But yeah, we will be going into autumn very soon. So I think, yeah, hopefully I can get that finished and kind of have it for that season. But I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's gonna look really great. Happy days. But I thought before I say goodbye, I would do a little bit of a haul for you. The other day I popped into Hobby Sew and spent a small fortune on stocking up on a few little bits and bobs that I have kind of been needing and kind of been putting off. I'm like, just buy them because it's going to get to the point where you're like, I can't do anything because I don't have any supplies. So I just thought I'd show you what I picked up, because I think it's just always nice to sort of share the kind of tools and things that we all love to use in our sewing rooms. It's only 4 things, so it won't be that long, and a lot of them I have shared before. So yeah, it'll be quick and simple, and I'll try not to ramble too much. But during this vlog I actually mentioned that my rotary blades beginning to get on the dull side of things, and I've just sort of been struggling a little bit, just fully cutting everything, and you know, just having a little bits of threads just snag, and like I've had to go over lines a couple of times, and it just gets really frustrating. So I managed to find some new blades that I had squirreled away for my 45mm rotary blade, but I didn't have any for my little 28mm blade. So I picked up some Rolfe ones. I do use Fisker blades, but they didn't have Fiskers at Hobby Sew, so I picked up the Rolfe ones. So this is a pack of 2 for the 28mm rotary blade, and just because it's Rolfe, it should fit the Fiskers. They're all the same size, it's just a different brand, and I paid $14.99 for this packet, which equates to what, $7.50 a blade. The next thing that I needed quite desperately were some little glue stick refills for my glue pen. I use the SNAIL brand, and I use the glue pen when I'm applying my hexies onto their little background squares. I also use the glue pen to put my hexie labels onto my quilts, just to sort of stick them there while I sew them into place. And you'd be quite surprised at just how quick you actually go through each little tube. I don't know whether I'm doing it wrong, but I feel like I'm applying just enough to make it stick. But just this little pack of refills, there's 6 in this, it was $16.50. So yeah, I mean, I bought them because I needed them, because I know that I use them all the time, but still $16.50 is quite a lot for glue, in my opinion. The next thing I got was just a spool of bobbin thread. This is the Special Brother embroidery bobbin thread. I only really got this just to add to my supplies of all of my embroidery threads for my embroidery machine. I still have a lot of pre-filled bobbins that came with the machine, but I'm beginning to sort of get some empties, and so I don't have actual bobbin fill thread to fill them back up again to sort of like stock up my supply. So this spool of just white embroidery bobbin thread is the Brother brand. It is the number 60. It's polyester, and there's 1,100 meters in here. And I got the number 60 because on the little information panel that was beside it, it said that this one, number 60, was good for machines that are both embroidery and sewing, which is the kind of machine that I have. They also had a number 90, which suggested that it was only just for embroidery machines. only, so that's why I got that one. And then last of all, I got a new can of my most favorite basting spray. This is the Helma 101 quilt basting spray. I used to get the one that Spotlight sell until I used this one and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so much better and it's cheaper. I forgot to say that for the thread I paid $7.50 and for the can of spray it is $17.99. I think the one that Spotlight sell is like $20 plus now, I'm sure, because prices at Spotlight are always going up. But I just find that this quilt basting spray is just so much better. It doesn't smell as much, it doesn't get all cloggy or gluey, and it just sprays so much better. It's cheaper. I mean, what can I say? It's just so much better. So I got a new can of that because I've got lots of quilts to make this year and I'm gonna need it. So yeah, happy days. Like I said, small fortune. All of these together cost, you know, quite a lot. But yeah, they were products that I needed and I will be using, so you know, it is what it is. But with that, my friends, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being so patient with me, for getting another vlog out. Just know that you guys are always on my mind. I'm always thinking I need a vlog, I need to do something, I need to do something with my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm always thinking about you. I've always got a vlog on the go. It's just finding time to put it all together to get it out. But you know, that's my problem, not yours. And so with all of that said, thank you all so much for joining me and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.